Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Code X podcast. As usual, I am your host, Sonny Kruger. I'm joined by my co-host today, the Ric Flair of comic books himself, Uncle Gary.
Woo!
And the man, his keeper, Mighty Mike.
Keeper of Uncle Gary.
That's a tough job.
It is a tough job.
I think it even says it here, somewhere down here. Yep. There it is, right there. Mighty Mike Harbor, the keeper of Uncle Gary.
That takes a big gauge chain, doesn't it, Mike?
It does. A big hook.
Hello, Richard.
Hey,
Good
Richard.
to have you here. Thank you for joining us right off the bat.
You say
So
Richard was right off the boat? What did you say about
Right
Richard?
off the bat, he joined us
He's right off the
bat.
boat, Richard. He's
Fresh off the boat.
He's fresh off the boat. Richard is.
No matter where you come from a boat, a plane, your house, a car,
You come
wherever
from
you
Britain,
are.
you
enjoy
come
the
from
show.
England. You come from Mexico. You can still be a part of this show. Isn't that right?
That is right. Even if you're English, you're Irish, you're Mexican, you're real American like me, and
Oh, you're a mutt.
pretty much, yeah. And just like Richard says, hit that like button, buy Dan Kelly art, do some push-ups, Sonny's beard, 2026.
And there you go.
There you go.
It encompasses it all.
You get a star. So today, everybody, we will be reviewing them. Earlier today, there was a crossover that came off, the Deadpool Batman, but today we're reviewing another crossover Batman had, and that's his crossover with the Hulk.
Sonny has the redone. What do you call it? Reissued Treasury.
The special collector's edition.
What's the cover price on your Treasury?
It says, cover price says $3.95.
$3.95. Okay, that's not bad. This was $2.50 back in the day. Back in the day.
That was a lot of money back in the day.
It was a lot of money back in the day. This was like 80 or 81 this came out or something.
The comics were still only 35 cents.
Yeah.
And this one it says 95 was when this one came out.
95. Yeah, you had to go to the drugstores to get these because these wouldn't fit on a spinner rack. So you had to go to Dart Drug or People's Drug or Drug Fair, and they would be in the magazine section, and they'd be on those big racks in the back of the drugstore.
Dan Kelly says, "You're late. Did Sonny lose track of time while he was dismembering some action figures?"
Possibly.
No, I just had to go pee. Sheesh.
Well, see, Dan, you had to ask him what about his bodily functions.
Yeah.
That's never good. That's never good.
And he set that up about it. But no sloppy Joe on cinnamon bread today, so I was all good.
Oh, Jesus. You deserve to be torn up after that.
Really.
Now, you know what? I would expect an action figure serial killer to eat stuff like that.
But that's not me. So it's wrongly, people always saying wrong things about me. But
Dexter says that dude is insane. Says Sonny's insane.
I have a Dexter shirt. Maybe another time I have to wear it. Yeah.
Sure you do. You probably frightened Dexter.
Hey, your words, not mine. But today, we got, like I said, we'll be reviewing the Batman Hulk crossover. We have two people joining the F list today. They're gonna make you laugh pretty much. We have quite a bit of comic book news, and right before the show, Dan says, "So you lost track of time peeing on your action figures?" No, Dan, even though there's no kink shaming here. But I was reading an article Dan had actually sent, so we got some comic book news right before jumping on the show. We'll get into that a little bit later. Viewing Insanity, we got a random panel of the week. Yeah, and for right or wrong this time, everybody's doing a little bit of some statements today. So that's what we've got going on. So did you guys? I know the Deadpool Batman came out issue. Mike, were you showing it?
Yes, it was.
Mike's read it.
I have read it.
Let me make you a bit bigger.
Wrong. There you
There
go.
we go. They like that. They have like the homage to the Wolverine Hulk cover.
Yeah.
I didn't get that cover, but they got me for like 5 other covers.
And I got the Batgirl
Magic
crossover cover.
Mm-hmm. I got that one too.
Shiny paper.
Chris comes in and says, "Hello, ladies."
There he goes.
Perfect
Yep.
timing. As
Hey, Schwartzy.
as you were showing that one.
We just hung out with him on Sunday. Went to a comic show together, the 3 of us.
Yep.
Nice. Did anything good?
Yeah, of course we did. We terrorized the Northern Virginia Comic Show. Chris got 9 out of the 10 adventure comics in the Aparo run and Fleischer run from Adventure 431 to 440. That was probably the greatest run of Spectre ever, where Spectre was turning dudes into blocks of wood and cutting them up. Things like that. It was
fun.
It was Old Testament Wrath of God Spectre.
Yeah, Chris, the
Chris
Deadpool
asked me if the
Batman
comic was
is
any
good.
good. Good.
It's good.
I look forward to checking it out. I want to see how it is. You know.
Yeah, it's got some good. It's got a couple backup stories in there. Some of them are good. Some of them.
Mike's praising the Frank Miller story. The art.
Frank
The art.
Miller
He
is
said the
awesome.
art was sublime.
I could show you. It is really bad.
It is. It'll make Sonny run to the
You can show it.
restroom.
It'll make you cry. Okay,
Ah.
hold on. Let me get to it.
And not tears of joy either.
Not tears of joy.
Look at that cave he's got.
So, look at that.
Whoa.
Oh, so bad.
Yeah,
Look, a whole big third of the page is just words.
yeah,
Boom.
Yeah, you're right. The other side. Yeah.
yeah. It is so bad. Luckily, it's only 3 pages.
Wow.
Oh, now I'm sad.
So it's definitely sad.
Boosh
That
comes
is
in and
evidently
says greetings and salutations. Hey, Boosh.
Boosh. That's
Chris
evidently
said
the
it's so
low
very
third of
good.
that book.
Spectre don't mess around when he's talking
He
about
does not mess around.
He does
Old
not.
Testament Spectre, Wrath of God. Told you before. When Batman's pointing at you, that's not good. When the Spectre's pointing at you,
Kiss your
man,
ass goodbye.
yeah, you're good. You're goodbye. Yeah, you're dead, and in a horrible fashion, most likely.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Terrible. It's
Horrible.
terrible.
Horrible.
Terrible.
Man.
Ugh.
I thought that the Frank Miller was just gonna be a variant cover. I didn't realize that he did a story.
Well, thank goodness it was only 3 pages, Mike.
Yeah, 3 pages.
Man, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Mr. Keith, hello.
Hey, Mr. Keith.
You can see what Chris has.
There we go.
There we go.
Winner, chicken dinner. Oh,
Um,
man. But, the thing is, you
should
have
give those 3 pages to Dan Kelly.
yeah.
Dan says could have been left blank.
But you must ask yourself, why does Chris know he could draw better that way? It begs the question.
Chris is asking. He's asking
What
if
is
we
Chris
could buy him
doing?
a copy.
Yeah, we'll grab you one, Chris.
Do we have any left?
I'm sure I'll swing by tomorrow and pick one up.
Okay. Because I bet we sold a ton of them things.
I bet so too.
Yeah.
Did you get any of the variant covers where he was the artist for the cover?
I no, I think he did a cover that was pretty bad too, right, Mike?
I don't know.
Batman
Yeah, I
and
think he
Green,
did a
yeah.
bad cover.
Oh.
None of us got that piece
Yeah.
of crap.
Chris said that's how he learned to draw.
Yeah. That's how I learned to draw. Wow. See, and we all wonder why Chris is different. It's things like that. Those are the reasons. Chris learned things in his own special way.
One
What's
might
your
say
special
he's
skill?
very bold.
He is
That
bold.
brings me. that
Brave.
brings you to-
And bold.
Did you see my interview with Bold
Yes.
Journey magazine?
I did. That was very cool.
I did not see your interview with Bold Journey magazine.
Yes, you gotta have to check our messages. Yeah, so we got at least you saw about the show, so that's the main thing. But yeah, so there's an interview with me, just Sonny Kruger. I did an interview with the Bold Journey magazine.
I thought that was
Series
spam.
about the station.
I thought that was some kind of spam.
No, that's a legit
I
real
thought it was
thing.
a hacking thing.
So that's when it comes from me, it's legit. It's not like those videos. It's like, is this you? And you can just see it's like a nasty picture. It's like, I don't have fun for that. Everything it's legit with me. So yeah, it was nice to have a good interview. And yeah, so leading up to the
Okay.
series that comes out next Friday, series about a series, the finale coming out to YouTube September 26th. And Chris is much better. I switched over to YouTube.
Mm.
So glad to have you joining us too, Chris. Oh yeah, Chris, yeah. So I was seeing different ones, but yes, okay. Facebook and then now onto YouTube. But yeah, so I had that, and then also this past weekend was a pretty fun weekend. Comics Unleashed had a big episode doing the KO bracket, first time on TikTok, and also first time that I joined everybody on Comics Unleashed.
And you celebrated by having Vixen beat Swamp Thing in the first round.
You never know what could happen,
Wow.
You never know. There's gotta be some upset.
Well, I guess I'm not counting on that one, but okay. If you're right, you're the only one.
Yeah, I was the only one who
you're the only one to pick that one.
Yeah. Yeah, so but we'll see how that KO goes. But yeah, it was a great episode of Comics Unleashed. I was glad to join you, Uncle Gary, and Dan, and Sal, and Jamie. So it was good to have the 5 of us together for the first time. Well, aside from the awards, it was the first time I was on Unleashed. So some good old fun. And speaking of Comics Unleashed, there's some awards going on. And like the CBC Awards, you can just go to cbcawards.org, vote for us. For Best Live Stream, Comics Unleashed, the Kodak Station. Also for Best Informative Content, the Kodak Station. For Best Live Stream, Comics Unleashed from the Kodak Station. For Best Entertaining Content, this very station, the Kodak Station. And for Most Engaging Host, the man who joined me last week, who was always on Comic Character of the Week, and who is also always on Comics Unleashed, Sal the Slab Guy from the Kodak Station, is up for Most Engaging Host. So get in those votes.
Don't let whatever you see here tonight deter you from voting.
No.
Just let it make you vote,
Vote early, vote often. That's what I say.
Don't make me come to your house and break your action figures. Right?
Exactly.
Is that a good one?
That is a legitimate threat, folks.
Yeah.
Even our fans say, Chris even says, vote now, beat the rush.
Vote early and vote often, as they used to say in Tammany Hall.
Yeah. And then next year, when they give you a chance to vote for my beard, you can vote for my beard.
They're going to beat down the doors to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sonny's beard. Justice for Sonny's beard.
Justice for Sonny's beard.
But you know what? You may split the vote on Codex. People may want to vote for Dan Kelly's.
No, vote for me.
Me
over everybody.
Well, y'all have to have a beard off.
It's gotta be me. Just pick me. What about me? What about Raven?
Oh, that's an old school poll. What about Raven?
Yeah.
It's gonna sit in the corner.
He's in the corner. I don't care about anything. Whatever.
It's beyond me.
Oh, wrestling stuff.
Old ECW stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I'm lost on this one. That's okay. I'll take your word for it. I guess I was. It was the younger generation that knew that, not me.
Yeah, he was a guy he didn't care. He looked like a homeless guy. Yeah. But he was cool. He always be like, "What about me?
What about me?"
Yeah. So all right, come on, my flock. It is time to start the show of the actual Code X podcast.
Let's do it.
And again, welcome everyone to the actual show of the Codex podcast. In case you didn't hear me before, I'm your usual host, Sonny Kruger, and I'm joined by my usual co-hosts, Uncle Gary and Mighty Mike.
When Mike threw up the peace sign, I thought he was flipping him off for a second. I was like, "What? What?
You're number one.
We're number one. We're number one." There was the famous Monday Night Football scene during one of the early years. And I think it was at a Jets game, and it was a bad game. And there was just one dude sitting up in the stands by himself. And they focused the camera on it. And Howard Cosell says, "Oh, well, there's a fan right there." And he's talking about it. And the dude went like that. And Howard was like, "Oh my!" And Dandy Don Meredith said, "It's okay, Howard. He's just saying we're number one."
Well, yeah, that's a good way to put it. I'm gonna remember that for now.
We're number one.
Number
That's
one.
what that means.
Hey,
Mike was saying Codex Station is number one. Yes.
There you go. Number one. So today, everybody, we will be, like I said, reviewing this comic book right here. The first appearance of the Shaper of Worlds, the Batman and Hulk crossover.
Was that the first appearance of the Shaper of Worlds? I didn't know.
I was just assuming.
Yeah.
I just assuming, like, I think he's a one and done.
I don't know. I thought they had established. Maybe he was. I don't know. I thought he was a established Marvel villain.
Oh, but yeah. So okay, well, maybe I was wrong, but it is,
or
it is the
not,
crossover between Batman and Hulk.
I don't know.
All right, but Chris says vote for Sonny's Merkin.
Wow. Wow.
But everybody, like I said, so we got that. And I also have a question. Does everybody like sardines?
Oh.
Because today we have two people joining the F list, and one of them is named Sardine.
Sardine.
Yeah. But before that, we got a random panel of the week. Someone's got a costume to show everyone. And then also, we got quite a bit of comic book news, variant insanity, and we all got a bit of statements for right or wrong.
Gary will be wearing the Zartan costume.
Zardoz.
Bruce is nice. I've never read the Hulk Batman crossover. This is my first time reading it too. Okay, Chris is Hulk 155. So there you go. Maybe there we go.
Yeah, I thought he was
Corrected.
established a villain, but not. I don't know that he has not been used much since this. I don't believe.
Yes, I was assuming that was. Yeah, I was assuming he didn't appear in anything else. So he first appeared in Hulk 155. So
Yeah,
Dude,
not.
I retract what I said. But I've got quite a bit of comic book news for everyone. So let's get it started with the rundown. Everyone, as you may know, there's a Clayface movie that's in the works. And this week there was a teaser that came out, a Joker teaser. And here's the image. Right there was posted. Its own name, Jay Napier. That Napier name sounds familiar, but DC Universe, look at it. It says, we got another Joker teaser from the Clayface horror movie. Yeah, so it looks like some graffiti with the Joker on it. It says, join the Joker.
Mm.
So, will he actually be in the movie, or will it just be seen? To be determined. But also, we got some news that, speaking of Batman news, we'll go on to Hush 2. It has been said that the conclusion to the Hush 2 story arc will be pushed back, and we will not get that conclusion until 2026.
That is just such a surprise.
Really, I'm stunned.
Wow.
A lot of waiting. So,
I mean, you wouldn't have thought that by the by the on-time schedule of Hush, the first part, right?
Yeah, really.
So, yeah, you're gonna have to wait.
As Dan Kelly says, we've launched the new Batman title before the old Batman story wrapped up.
And then before we get into some more, I'll get to the comments a little bit after I finish this. Also, with the rundown, there's a new cast member of the Vision show, and that is Mary McDonnell. She was in Battlestar Galactica. And also, speaking of shows,
Dances with Wolves, right?
Yeah. So also, when it comes to DC, the Penguin show won some Emmys, and the one who won it was Cristin Milioti, won for her role as Sophia Falcone. So she got it. And then also we had the passing of a legendary actor, and Robert Redford, who passed away at the age of 89. Robert Redford has been around, for decades, and definitely one of the legendary icons in Hollywood. And one of his last big roles, many of us comic book fans know, was when he was Alexander Pierce in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. But he's been in plenty of other things, Sundance Kid. He was in was Out of Africa. Yeah, Indecent Proposal. So he's been around for decades, and Robert Redford passed away. Yeah, The Natural.
Absolutely. The Way We Were. Barefoot in the Park, which he did on Broadway, and then he did the movie of. So The Sting, which he got his only Academy Award nomination for acting, was through The Sting. He directed Ordinary People, his first directorial debut, and won the Best Director Oscar for that. That won Best Picture. He also directed Quiz Show, and there was another really good stellar movie he directed that I'm not thinking of right now, but quite prolific. I've enjoyed his movie. I love The Natural. Loved The Natural a lot. It was one of my favorites. But one of my most indelible roles of his, that's right, that's where we're going, Chris, is Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone, for those of you who don't know, is my favorite show of all time. It is, it usually when you see a top 10 list of the greatest shows in television, Twilight Zone is sometimes the only show of the golden age of television still there. It was brilliant. It's influenced this medium that we love so much, and the sci-fi that we love so much, and with the parables, and the teaching moments, and the just the brilliance of Rod Serling's mind, and the great writers like Matheson and Buck Houghton that he had around him doing some of these episodes. It's just a brilliant show. But the Redford episode, I believe it was season 3, it's called Nothing in the Dark. And I don't know that I want to give too much away from somebody that might actually go look at it, but Nothing in the Dark. Robert Redford was young, and oh my God, what a good looking, strapping young man he was. I mean, he was just chiseled, and that blonde hair, but he was very young, and he played a police officer in Nothing in the Dark. And it is one of the most beautiful stories. It's my second favorite episode after Passage for a Trumpet, which had Jack Klugman in it. And it's about life. It's about death. It's about moving on. So Mike, we probably shouldn't give it away, should we? I don't think we give it away. So it is.
I actually saw the scene online, or the ending scene I had seen. So
yeah, it's amazing.
It's kind of interesting with how he
you have to watch the whole thing. I mean, just watch the whole thing for you have it. And it is hauntingly beautiful, right, Mike?
Yeah, very poignant. Yes.
Oh,
so.
Just Mike and I are part of a group that our good friend Kurt's. We will have one this weekend. We watch Twilight Zone episodes, and I curate the episodes, and we watch either 4 half-hour ones or 1 hour. There's one season that was hours. We'll watch an hour and 2 half hours, and so we had a night where we showed this one, and everybody. I think Mike had seen them, but I think maybe we were the only ones that had seen that one, and everybody was really moved by the beauty of that episode. Yes, and Booge, if you know it, don't give it away, brother. Yeah, so Nothing in the Dark, and Redford was magnificent. I wish I could remember the lady's name that played the older woman in that. She was fabulous, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful half hour of television. It's one of those things that's as good as TV can be. So I recommend y'all getting your Robert Redford on and watching Nothing in the Dark in the Twilight Zone for those of you that have it streaming. I guess what's about with no commercials, it's probably like 23 minutes or something.
Right.
Content you have to watch, and it is just television at its finest. Highly recommend it. I'll give one
Mr.
other.
Keith says it's a small thing, but the fact that he was in the MCU and took it seriously says a lot about how he felt about new movies instead of being an old crank. And that's a really good point, Mr. Keith.
Absolutely. And the other thing he really needs to be championed for is what he did with his Sundance Film Festival.
Yeah,
he right. And Sonny, you as an independent filmmaker and doing what you do, he opened a lot of doors for filmmakers. I mean, like Tarantino. I think maybe did he help Sofia Coppola? Maybe I'm wrong on that one, but he helped a lot of young up and coming independent filmmakers get a voice, to get a place to show their movies. So yeah, Chris, it was fantastic. It was a great episode. So his voice there, and then just I listen. I'm real secure in my masculinity, and I have no problem saying this, he was a damn good looking man. You know, he was blessed by the
Yeah,
God.
I always remember my Nana. Me and my brother would always kind of tease my Nana and say, "Oh, there's Nana's man," because she always liked him. And I remember always watching We Spy Game with him and Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah, he was
She
in
always watched
Sneakers.
Spy Game. Yeah, that was a great movie.
Oh, 3 Days of the Condor. That's an older school movie.
Yeah.
I remember Brubaker. I think he was a warden in that one.
Yeah.
Oh God, All the President's Men. Jeez, you know,
yeah,
one of the greatest movies ever about Woodward and Bernstein. He played Carl Woodward when the Watergate scandal. He auditioned for The Graduate. So this is a great Robert Redford story. He auditioned for The Graduate.
Real quick, Chris says, "You know what didn't help Sofia Coppola? Godfather 3."
Very true.
You're very true on that one.
Mr. Keith said he was the president in the Watchmen series.
Oh wow! Okay,
Wow.
Nice. I did not realize that because I did not watch that series. I heard it was great though. He was auditioning for the lead in The Graduate that Dustin Hoffman got, who ironically years later they would be in President's Men together. But he's auditioning for the lead for Benjamin, and the director Mike Nichols said, "Robert, let me ask you something. Have you ever struck out with a girl?" And Redford said, "What do you mean?" He did not get the part. So, that was not the character. Have you ever struck out with a girl? And Redford says, "What do you mean?" That classic. So Dustin Hoffman got the role. The Graduate goes down in cinematic history. But Robert Redford says, "What do you mean?"
He wasn't used to it. What?
Can that happen? If you're Robert Redford, no. No, it can't happen. So, but that's one of my favorite. I told that to my wife today, and she just howled with laughter. What do you mean?
I think I have to use that excuse every time I don't get a role. Well,
yeah,
there's a story of Robert Redford why he didn't get the part. That could be my excuse.
There you go. So those are Mike. What's your Robert Redford reminiscence?
Oh, my favorite is Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid.
Yeah,
I love that movie. Just such a great classic Western, and love the ending. They come out at the end and they're just, both guns in hands.
Guns blazing. 30 seconds later, it wouldn't be a good picture.
No.
I love the scene where Newman's going to fight the dude, and he tells Redford, "If this guy beats me, I want you to kill him." And Redford's like, and then he waves to the guy. Yeah. Oh, so good. So good.
Yes, may Robert Redford rest in peace. He said his legacy will continue on.
So, Sonny, your newer generation, what do you
I remember, I do remember Avengers, but also too, I remember doing Indecent Proposal, and like I said, I remember my Nana watching him a lot, like Spy Game and Out of Africa. So I think movies like that.
What about The Natural?
And The Natural, I might have seen part. I haven't seen the whole thing yet.
Natural's good, and he was way too old to play that character, but it still was damn good. Still was damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
Robert Redford, and then some of the other news. At least we wanted to focus on that a lot, but on top of the other stuff that was going on, we just got some news a little before the show began, and it was that Greg Rucka gave an interview, and he talked about working for DC and saying that it was really toxic, and he said especially Dan Didio and Jeff Johns, at the way that they were treating people. And let me read exactly what that part says. I don't want to get it wrong. And then it mentioned on the podcast, Rucka described suicidal ideations, which he said sprung out of trauma related to his time at DC. He leveled blame at former DC executives Dan Didio and Jeff Johns, calling them bad actors and characterizing the environment at DC as abusive and manipulative. So,
well, I knew people didn't enjoy Didio that much. I had not heard the negativity surrounding Johns, though. Yeah. So that's new to me. That's new to me.
Dan Kelly was saying it in the chat too.
Yeah.
And real quick, Chris, you said The Last Castle with Robert Redford. I remember that one. I do remember that one too. Yeah, watching with my Nana. So.
Yep. Last Castle.
There's one with James. Wait, was James Gandolfini also in it?
Can't remember.
I do
I'm
not
trying to remember if
know.
there was a guard that was mean. You know, it'd been a long time since I'd seen the movie, but
In almost all these movies, there's a guard that was mean.
yeah. Right now, I'm gonna look there because that's gonna bother me. I hate to be wrong about things. And yes, it was James Gandolfini.
Oh, you know, one of his
He was
very
the
good.
Colonel Winter.
One of his last roles was All Is Lost, and he was a sailor. He was, you know, like a private sailor at sea with a recreational craft, a sailboat, and a storm hit him and damaged his boat. And almost the whole movie is you know, he does not speak. You know, maybe grunts and this and that. You know, when he's fighting to save himself, to save his boat, and it was you know, it was powerful performance. I think it was 2013. So, you know, one of his last major performances, and it was amazing. All is lost.
Oh, it's lost. It's like I said, so many movies he'd acted. And then, like we saw, like what Mr. Keith said, he was also in the Watchmen show as the president. So I do like hearing that, like, because you know, a lot of the older actors tend to say, "Oh, the superhero stuff, it's not real cinema," or they try to say stuff like that. And I just kind of think, even if I'm a fan of them, I'm like, it's just them being old and grumpy that this is the new popular thing. Where that shows that Robert Redford was like, "Hey, this is what's going on. It's still acting, and he still got involved in it and was a part of it."
And I'm sure it was still a paycheck.
You know
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Who's going to turn down those big old, you know, Marvel paychecks?
There are a lot of zeros on that check, weren't there, Mike?
I bet there were.
Yeah, I bet there was.
I bet there were.
That'll keep that film festival going for a while.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, with Greg Rucka, like I said, so even I had heard, you know, Dan had said that, with Dan had said that Dan had not the best reputation, but it is like the first time things are being said about Jeff Johns. I'm very
Sorry to
disappointed
hear
with
that.
stuff like
I do. I really like Rucka as a writer. I think Rucka's fantastic. He's writing the new, the miniseries. What if Jade and Cheetah robbed the Justice League, which is really good. Hell Comes to Frogtown.
I'm not familiar with that one.
I do not know that one, but that sounds pretty damn interesting.
Yeah, but Mr. Keith said he loves that movie. All right, and Cristin, yeah, or like horror films, yeah, old legendary actors land there for money.
Got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very unfortunate. I hate to hear that with DC, especially when anybody that you're fans of too. Like we've reviewed quite a bit of Jeff Johns stuff.
Oh, Jeff Johns is one of my favorite authors out there.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
seemed to be a very nice guy the time we met him.
Yeah, Mike and I met him, and he was fantastic. He was even talking war books with Mike.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so you never know. Sometimes, you know, with things, you know, like they always say there's like three sides to every story. Like there's that side and the truth.
The truth. Yeah.
Yeah. And Bruce says, "Oh, that was Roddy Piper. I always get the two confused." I think you're talking about They Live.
They live in Frogtown. No.
Well, I love They Live though. Because I have that in my collection.
John Carpenter.
Think we're living there.
Oh,
yeah, we've been there.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You know what, Mike? We might need to invest in some eyewear.
I think
Get
so.
some sunglasses, guys.
Get some sunglasses.
Yeah, we need to invest in some special.
Wonder what this book really says.
Yeah.
Conform.
Obey.
Obey.
Yeah. Hey, and if your friend doesn't want to put their glasses on, you have to fight them in the alley, give them a gut wrench, and say, "Where are these glasses?" So that
Body slam.
Yeah.
And make sure you bring your chewing gum.
Yep.
Yeah. A good classic movie. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
And Chris says that Johns was nice to him.
Well, there we go.
Yeah,
we got three nice reviews.
Yeah. Okay, Roddy Piper was in both movies, and Bruce says, "Yeah, They Live is awesome too." Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch it soon. You know, it's coming up for Halloween. Yeah.
Viewing.
You know, his name in the movie was Nada, meaning nothing. He had no name. He was just a homeless man with no name, but with some good old wrestling skills.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like any of the other news, get to you guys. Like I said, you you guys seem like that you pretty much expected Hush 2's conclusion to be pushed back.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first one took forever.
No, yeah,
Okay.
not a. And you know what? Series, right?
Yeah. Seems like anytime they try to do anything more than 3 to 4 issues, it ends up being pushed back. for
Yeah,
some
I
reason.
mean, the sequel to The Long Halloween has been meh,
Yeah.
too.
And
Yeah.
Same here, Dan, when you said you hate hearing about Johns. He's
Well, and then we don't know the ins and the outs of it. We ain't hearing an allegation, like Sonny said, we're where's the truth? What's John's version? We hear Rucka's version,
Yeah.
Breaking news: Booge says push it back to 2075.
All right, I'll have to make sure that's on my pull list.
Yeah, really.
If I'm pulling anything in 2075, I'm gonna be a lucky man.
Hey, I'll only be 85 years old.
Be pushing up daisies.
85. Jesus Christ. Wow.
Who knows where the world will be?
I'll be 85 in 24 years. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. What the hell?
Who knows where the world will be, right? Just Chris just said, what happened to Johns? With the Greg Rucka was saying that working at DC was really toxic, and that Jeff Johns and Dan Didio's behavior made him even get suicidal.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so either way, it's a nasty situation. I know, what happened was a long time ago, because Rucka has said it was saying it was in around 2012, something like that. So it was a long time ago, but still, just hate to hear anything like that. Come on, behave, get along with each other, try to be nice.
Can't we all just get along?
Yeah, and sometimes people have jokes and things. Sometimes people can joke and can take jokes, and some people just really don't like it, and they, it makes them feel bad. So
yeah, trust
me, I'm okay with jokes. There's some people like me. I can take jokes. Feel free to have some fun, but not everybody is like that. Not everybody, can take it. Sometimes you can kind of tell, okay, so and so's not really laughing. Just move on.
What are you saying you can take, Sonny?
I can take jokes. I can take it.
Oh,
I can
you
take
take
a
jokes.
lot. I can take a whole
You
lot.
take a lot of jokes?
a lot.
I can take a whole
Like
lot of
that
stuff.
much joke?
Even more. Even bigger.
Oh, shit.
No
Sorry.
kink shaming.
No kink shaming. No kink shaming.
No kink
kink
shaming
shaming.
here.
No kink shaming.
Yeah.
So you can take a yard of jokes.
Okay. And then Bruce says, Ruckus' application to Ghost Machine was rejected. And he said sour grapes.
Ooh. Ooh. See, the plot thickens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The plot thickens just a little bit if he was not accepted to Ghost Machine. So that might mean an airing of the laundry.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not immediately going to throw the guys under the bus. Now, like I said, I hear different sides. And Bruce said, "You act like grown me writing superhero comics."
Grown me.
And Dan says, "I'm convinced DC released the first issue of the new Batman series before the old one ended, is so Marvel didn't use the new Batman logo first, the crossover book."
Yeah, Dan mentioned that, and there may be something to that.
Yeah. And Bruce said he meant to say act like grown men writing superhero.
But Grown Me was great, Booze. I enjoyed that. That was pretty funny, though.
And Chris says he can take it, and he's telling me that I can take quite a bit. He was a walkie and freezer for a butt. All this butt talk is making something thicken. Okay, Chris.
Chris has to go draw now.
Oh, very good. I see what you did there. Very good. Chris is going to draw now.
Chris will be drawing soon.
Okay, guys, it's getting pretty insane, and he's getting
spicy.
pretty insane.
Sonny's like, turn the temperature down.
Getting too insane in here.
He's hosing down the show.
Insane
with cold water.
Insane.
It's a bit like variant insanity. That kind of insane.
Right.
That is
You know,
quite
for
the
some-
tune. That is
very
quite the
catchy.
tune.
Good job. Next, the man who's nominated for most engaging host, Sal the Slab Guy.
Sal.
Together. Chris said he's gonna go make some art. Don't make a mess, Chris. Okay, you know how Variant Insanity goes. Which comic book had the most variants this week?
Mike and I are in agreement already.
Deadpool, Batman.
That one, the one that I had to buy 5 damn covers to because I'm a chump.
5 covers.
4
All right.
or 5 just that I bought.
You have. All right. So both going with Deadpool, Batman. Everybody in the chat, you're gonna go with. If Richard isn't gonna answer, I'm just gonna assume that he's gonna go with TMNT with 23.
There you go.
That's
And,
what he
and,
usually picks. See,
and
we
somebody
know-
else is
we
going
know
to
our
say Thundercats. Somebody else is going to say Thunder. I know there was one of those Dynamite books. Like
Chris said
Thunder.
he's done with his artwork. That was fast.
Ah! Chris, that didn't take long.
All right, so now you're all done with your artwork. Are you?
Now he's
Dan Kelly joins. So everybody from Kodak so far is going with Deadpool, Batman.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Deadpool, Batman for me too.
Guys, everybody watching, it's Deadpool, Batman.
Yep.
And there you go. Sale provided us with some information. The Variant Insanity was Batman Deadpool. The writers Kevin Smith, Kelly Thompson, Al Ewing, Zeb Wells, Ryan North, Chip Zdarsky, and Frank Miller.
Boo.
The artists were Adam Kubert, Greg Capullo, Frank Miller.
Boo.
Yeah. Ooh. Good hear you.
Gesundheit.
Yeah.
Comes
And
out
and Dyke Ruan. Sorry, Guru Hiru, I mispronounced your name. I'm pretty
Dyke
sure.
Ruan, is that like a
it's like a kaiju.
performer?
Just
I
an
was
artist.
I was okay. I was
Chris was
thinking
going
that
with Richie Rich, but he was wrong.
Richie Rich.
Miss Keith was also going to Batman Deadpool. All right, so and then Jamie came in guessing that it was Eyes. He was wrong. It was Batman. It was Deadpool, Batman. So, and then Chris comes in and said, "That's what she said." But Dan is going with 35 covers. What about you guys? How many?
Woo! Is Dan Price's Right rules? Dan, are you?
I say 20.
20.
I'm going to say Daryl Green. What number would that be? 28. 28.
Anybody else would like to take a guess as to how many covers Deadpool, Batman had this week?
And there's that logo that they didn't. Dan says they didn't want him to use until DC used it first, and there may be some validity to that.
Yep.
Fuji's going with 24. Mr. Keith is going with 8.
Oh, Mr. Keith, I almost bought that many myself.
And Chris says, "You laugh. One day Richie Rich will be back on top."
Well, with all that money, he can pay for whatever he wants.
It could
I
be a
used to like
top or a
that
bottom.
Top
I
or
used to
bottom.
like that movie.
Right.
Remember when he had a roller coaster? Oh, and Chris says he's going to go with 723 covers for Deadpool, Batman.
Just made me spit my Pepsi.
Let me see. If it had
Jimmy's going
been a
with
dynamite,
17.
if it had been a dynamite book, it might have been 723 covers.
All right, so everybody, this week, Deadpool, Batman had a total of 29 covers.
Oh,
28.
nice, Gary.
28. So you are the closest and didn't go over. So
You're a big
Not
wiener.
good.
I'll give you that win.
I'm the big wiener.
All right, guys.
Time to do some art.
Time for our
Isn't that a little bit later? But right now it's time for some right or wrong. Who would you guys like to switch off? Because I know you guys got 2 each, and I'll finish this off with one.
Well, I don't know how you said that. I don't like how you said that. I'm a little perplexed.
I will conclude.
You'll
Right
finish. Okay, is that what you're? Okay, I'll start. Since we
I'm
started,
here with me. I'll bring us.
I'm next with you. There you go. With this, if these books that just came out today and what'll come out, the next batch DC does these Marvel DC crossovers. If these books make money hand over fist because of the shape of the comic book industry right now, Marvel and DC will make this a semi-regular event.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking too.
And then before Chris had said Gary gets to play the Showcase Showdown.
Woohoo! I'm gonna spin the wheel.
Let's play Plinko.
I like Plinko. I like the yodeler, the mountain guy that goes, woo, 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 and he's too far, he falls off the cliff.
Mike, how about you? What's your first right or wrong statement?
Somebody needs to take Frank Miller's pencil away from him.
Chris?
I say right. I hate to be mean. Well, maybe just to himself. He could do it. He could draw himself, but yeah. So
that is 100% right. Please take his pencil. Maybe we can still let him write, but for God's sakes, do not let him draw. And look, and then when he draws, why are you publishing it?
That's what I say. Yeah, maybe if he just wants to do it himself, if he loves it, then do it himself. But to keep publishing it and keep putting it out there, especially when you know it's getting this really bad, all this bad talk. It's like,
and he won't know that it was published or not.
Yeah.
You could tell him.
Listen, we saw him a few years ago when he walked out on Baltimore and screwed them over the convention. That's why he'll never be there again. He looked like death then. However old he was, he looked at whatever his age was. I'm sure he looked 20 to 30 years older.
Yeah.
So for number one, everybody was going right except for Jamie. He had said Marvel's too much to themselves. But for number two, everybody was going with right.
Right.
Everyone went with right for that one. Yeah. And Dan says, or they can give him Chris's pencil. There's no way he'll want to touch that.
Nobody's going to want to touch that.
And Mr. Keith says, right, also, don't let him direct the spirit.
Oh, please, no.
Again. Okay.
Back to me?
Okay, Gary, back to you.
All right. In light of Robert Redford, we have a Robert Redford question, or subtle tie-in. For those individuals who chose to do a book report on The Natural by watching the movie, they made a tremendous mistake.
I would say right. It sounds like something from personal experience.
I did not. I didn't do that. I know somebody that did, though. Somebody that did.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to say right. Something like that. Like, seems like there's a story behind this.
Oh, there is a story. I mean, but if so, for any individuals that chose to do a school book report on The Natural by watching the movie and not reading the book, they made a tremendous mistake. So we'll see what people answer, and then when we come back to it, I can say why it might have been a mistake.
Sounds good. And Dan Kelly does also say right. But Mighty Mike, what about you? What's your second one for today?
I say that Jeff the land shark has jumped the shark.
Oh, you know what? I say right on that in a way that I've never even been on the Jeff the Wagon train. So I don't even know if he got in the water figuratively to jump the shark. So I'll say right. Sure.
I'm going to say wrong. I like Jeff. I like Jeff the Land Shark.
Then he stole that from Saturday Night Live.
Land shark.
Land shark. Kenny Graham.
UNICEF.
Yeah. Oh, that was good stuff.
All right. While other people answer that, I will get on to my one. Before we move on, Mr. Keys said right for number 3. He said he did Day with Jurassic Park, and he said, I'm still stuck in 7th grade.
Nice.
And for number 4, Dan had said right. All right, so now I'll finish this off, and I will say for my one statement of today that Vixen will mop the floor with Swamp Thing in DC's KO tournament.
You are so wrong. You are so wrong. Vixen will be turned into compost by Swamp Thing to feed all the little plants he wants to feed. So
Mike,
wrong.
how about you? Are you gonna, do you think Vixen's going to mop the floor with the Swamp Thing?
I will have to defer and say no. I don't think so.
So here we go. Actually, I'll say wrong too.
What's-
She's not going to mop the floor with him, but I think she's going to beat him. I think she's going to pull it off.
He comes out with a can of like weed killer.
It's shorter than the Wolverine Batman story.
Yeah, really.
The fight is 2
Yeah.
pages instead of 3.
Yeah, Swamp Thing versus Vic. Oh, it's over.
Oh shit.
No, so, couldn't even get her name out. It's over.
I think that might be the most. Yeah, no, that's the most fight I'm excited for now in the opening round.
I swear to God, if Vixen wins, I'm just gonna have to hold my head in shame.
He's gonna quit comics. I'm done. I'm out.
Check, please. I'm done.
Please.
All right, so let's go back to number 1. Gary, you were the one who had that number, that first.
All right, number 1. If this Batman Deadpool crossover, Marvel's version and DC's version makes money hand over fist because of the state of the comic book industry right now, DC and Marvel will make this a semi-regular event.
And everyone, we were all going with right, except for Jamie was the one who said wrong. And then he did put it down there. He said that that Marvel's too much to themselves.
No.
But I think with the success, I think there would be more because they all care about money. If it sells, which I think that these are going to sell good, as we already see that Deadpool Batman already has 29 variants. I already know a few people who are buying multiple variant covers for it, and I've got to get myself at least one cover.
Got me. They got me.
All right, and then number 2 was you had it, Mike.
Somebody take away Frank Miller's pencil.
100%, baby.
Yeah, we were all in agreement with that. Yeah, and then we're going with the comments. Yeah, and then Chris had said he's done, and Dan said give him Chris's pencil. There's no way he'd want to touch that. Mr. Kid said don't let him direct the Spirit again. But yeah, so like we said, Frank Miller's his time has passed. He should be done, or if he wants to draw it himself, right? That's he's just doing it himself, but not to keep putting it out, not to keep publishing it. Come on,
it's not Miller time anymore.
No,
Miller time is over.
Mm-hmm.
And Uncle Gary, you had the third statement for today.
Yep. In the for anyone that made the decision to do a book report on the book The Natural by watching the movie The Natural, they have made a tremendous mistake.
And we were all agreeing with you. We were all saying right, and now we'd like to hear that story.
All right. Well, the Robert Redford character, Roy Hobbs, at the end of the movie, is seen alive and well playing baseball with his son. In the book, The Natural, Roy Hobbs dies. So teachers knew immediately who had done a book report when that book was concerned by how the book report ended. They knew who read the book and who watched the movie as their book report. So,
yeah, like the books, sometimes they do that. Like I said, they completely change it. Yeah.
Just a little small detail at the end. Yeah, Roy Hobbs
a little
dies in the book.
Yeah. So there we go. Now we know. Don't do that, people. We're just suggesting don't do that.
Read the book.
Or you could be like me and do book reports on X-Men cartoons. I aced those. And then I actually did a real book, and then I got like, Sonny, do you have to do books like this? And then I was thinking to myself, oh, okay, I'm going back to doing book reports on X-Men episodes. Yeah. So, Mike, you had
I had Jeff the Land Shark has jumped the shark.
All right, and Dan
The
said
shark jumps the shark.
right. Boo says he hasn't read it.
And that's where I am. I haven't read it. It just
Yeah.
I didn't care to. So
Mr. Q said, right, can a shark jump a shark?
yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And then Chris said wrong, but I wasn't too sure if it was for 4 or 5. Oh, you know what? Actually, with my question, no, I think he meant that for 4. I think he meant that for 4, that Jeff the Land Shark did not jump the shark.
Chris does not even know who Jeff the Land Shark is.
Yeah, because it's definitely
Chris is old school. He does not know Jeff the Land Shark.
Well, because it definitely has to be doing that for 4 because number 5 was
Number
that
5
Vixen will swamp
is
Vixen
wrong.
will the floor with Swamp Thing. So he was probably going to go with right for that one.
Swamp Thing is going to swamp that Vixen ass. Is what he's going to do.
Dan said wrong, and
Swamp ass? What?
Swamp ass. Exactly right. He's going to be swamp ass. Yeah. You'll turn her into mulch. Yeah.
and Dan said, "I don't give 2 sharks about Jeff the Land Shark."
There you go. He sharded. He sharked.
And Chris said that he used to do book reports on Eerie and Creepy. I say Daryl Brooks.
those are Chris's 2 alter egos. He's Eerie and Creepy.
And let's see. Dan said, this is back to the book report one. He said, when I was in high school, people were doing their book reports in the Scarlet Letter by watching the Demi Moore movie. It was obvious who didn't read it. Yeah, that's one comment earlier was about Jurassic Park. Was that?
Yeah, because that's got a different.
There's Mr. Keith.
Thing. Yeah. So read the book.
Chris even says I meant wrong for Vixen.
Yes. See.
No, right. I think he's just playing around.
Vixen brings a knife to a gunfight in that situation.
Who says Jeff the Land
Shark? That's right. I like that. Jeff the Land Shark.
Leave my people. Leave Jeff the Land Shark and Vixen alone. They're gonna surprise everybody.
I guess Vixen's power, she could beat Jeff.
Yeah, she would. Because she's like super tough. So.
And then they could jump each other.
Oh, what? Okay, and now before we jump into the random panel of the week, Chris had said they're my cousins, Eerie and Creepy.
Bless you.
But now we jump into the random panel of the week. Are you all ready? Well, if you're an evil doer, get ready to be scared because boom.
Wow.
There we go.
So somebody posted that this was Chris's costume in our chat. Somebody said, I didn't know Chris had a superhero costume. So Chris, they were somebody was maligning you.
He says, this shall be my costume to terrorize all evil doers. And you look at that though. Super short underwear. Right?
I'm glad we're not seeing them from behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I think that might be worse than the Zardoz costume.
That's pretty bad.
That is really bad. That is pretty garish.
Yeah, I think
black,
that outfit goes on the F list.
Yeah. The costume is the F list.
Yeah,
really.
This shall be my costume to terrorize all evildoers. Mr. Keith says Zorro.
Gay Blade.
It's like Zorro, a mixture of Zorro and the Top.
Yeah, not too good. Hey, Robin in the 80s, was it 80s or 70s? And Robin, his shorts weren't too much longer than that, though, at one point.
Robin was wearing short pants, that's for sure.
Mr. Short Pants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And before we move on here, Dan said about Vixen. Vixen brings a rubber band gun to bazooka fight in that one.
Yeah, I think
that's all she needs. That's good. That's the most fight I'm excited for. And then Chris, his confession, said it is my costume. I was known as the butt pirate, scourge of the dank crack.
That's where his hideout was.
No kink shaming here. Hey, you came to the right place. No kink shaming here.
I like.
For the random panel of the week, Mr. Keith says he looks like a vegan hamburglar.
Wow.
Yeah, that wins it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just needs a little hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. The vegan hamburglar is in our random panel of the week.
And that would be a great name for him, the vegan hamburglar.
The vegan hamburglar.
Well, that's who he is.
Do we know his name?
Just the vegan hamburglar, something with a Z. Maybe I'll get something with the Z. Z. Let's see. Z vegan hamburglar. Yeah.
Z vegan. Okay, I can do that. Z vegan hamburglar.
Yeah.
He is a French. Oh.
Yeah. And then Dan says, "Don't ask him where he keeps his car keys." Chris says, "They had the butt cape. I carried butter rings."
Wow.
All right, and now we get on to that list we were mentioning, the F list.
That's a great sound effect.
Join the F list. We've got 2 characters joining.
2.
One is Human Flying Fish.
I knew that. I know the flying fish. Yep.
Let's see them follow me into the air. And also joining the Human Flying Fish is his sidekick, Sardine. There he is, Sardine. Some more pictures. There's the image of both of them. Yeah, when Sardine says, I'll bet I'm almost as good as Aquaman. And the human flying fish says, "Don't mention that swimming chump to the human flying fish, Sardine."
Wow.
We got some more. There they are in the background. We see them both jumping out of the water.
Looks like Mother-Daughter Day.
Yeah, really.
Oh, yeah.
The fur bikinis. Oh, the grass bikinis.
They're fighting back there.
Wait a minute. What is young Toy Man doing to the older Toy Man? I know we said no kink shaming, but wait a minute. That is incestuous. We have to draw the line somewhere.
Okay, you ready? I was really just trying to pay attention to Sardine punching Human Flying Fish, but you do make a good point.
What is
something is going on there.
What is he doing? Where's the Toy Man grabbing? He is
Toy Man on a stick.
Behind.
Wow, yeah.
Is that Chris's pencil?
We knew Chris was the toy boy.
And there's Human Flying Fish. Says, "Hurry, you have 2 minutes."
Sonny, what kind of smut are you showing on this podcast? Oh my goodness.
I try to keep it family friendly.
That was not family friendly.
And there's a Sardine squirted Aquaman with squid ink. And then there's Human Flying Fish getting attacked by fish. It's just, yipes. Real flying fish.
Hundreds of flying fish. Yep. Yeah, I knew this was an Aquaman villain because one of the first DC special Aquamans had this idiot in it. And he's not in many of the Aquaman books at all that I can remember because he was so lame. So you're getting a lot of stuff out of Super Friends, I'm assuming.
How about now? I'll go to some of the comments. And Boosh, it said before, when it came to random panel of the week, it said Robin's costume after. Let me show you the actual. The random panel of the week, he had said, Boosh said Robin's costume after the police saw his computer.
Boosh, that's good.
It's a good one.
And then when it comes back to the F list, let's see, Mr. Keith had said, could they at least pretend to have functioning scuba gear?
Yeah.
And Boo said, something is rotten in Denmark. It's these 2 characters gimmick. And then when it came to the, your favorite
Lansing
Toy 2, Chris said Lansing Toy Man's Boyle.
Sonny, I can't get over that picture, Sonny. Oh my God. Oh, and and that's not even showing.
There you go.
Oh man, that is just that is wrong on so many levels.
And then when it comes to old Sardine, Bush said Sardine is a good name since he needs to be canned.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. His name is Prince Albert. Put him in a can.
So would anybody like to take guesses to the names of these or any history between these 2? Something to get your minds going.
See, you keep showing that picture, and all I can concentrate on is the Toy Man's son jabbing the Toy Man in his ass.
Okay, I'll try. There we go. Here they are when they're in the water together.
Oh man, Roy, Flying Fish is Roy Flounder, and he took on a sidekick just for the halibut. And
Bada bing.
Bada bing, and his name is Maxi Carp is the sardine. So Roy Flounder and Maxi Carp are the flying fish in Sardine.
Well, you might be right about Sardine because he has there's no actual name to him. It just says Sardine. But the human flying fish was named Victor Bragg.
Victor Bragg. No, that's nothing to brag about, that costume.
Yeah,
And look, Sardine, that other Sardine one, he looks like Jerry Lewis.
Let's see which one you're.
The one where they're in the pool together.
Let's get that one. Right.
It looks like Jerry Lewis.
He does.
Not to mention that jump to the human flying fish.
Sardine.
But both of these men made their first appearance in, as you said, I'm going to call it Super Friends, but in Super Friends issue number 1, 1976. So created by E. Nelson Bridewell and Rick Estrada. And they were in two. Human Flying Fish may have been in more, but Sardine was only in their first 2 issues, and they were part of the Super Foes, and they were against the Justice League. As you can see in this picture, it was like always the villains, and
there we go.
Younger versions. Even to right there, there's Poison Ivy with the younger one, and Cheetah with the younger one. So the Human Flying Fish had Sardine, and then issue number 2. It's not really mentioned as to why all the younger ones turned on the older ones, but then they did to help out the Justice League. And as you see, they all turned on the bad ones. As you see, Sardine punching Human Flying Fish. That was the last time Sardine was seen. And yes, Toy Man's Toy Boy. That character's actual name was Toy Boy.
Toy Boy. Hey.
Wow, there you go. See, another layer to that onion.
Yeah, Toy Boy was definitely doing some damage to Toy Man.
After what Sardine did to Flying Fish, he put him in a little sardine can and sealed him up for good. Killed him.
So guys, so that was it for those characters. So although this image says hurry, you have 2 minutes, we'll say we have less than 2 minutes. Let's come up with, I think they stay on the F list.
They never got out of the F list. What Flying Fish? That's 2 Fs right there.
Yeah. Mr. Keith says, what exactly did their wife and mom do during all this?
You know what?
There's no mention of how they're related. I don't know if it's his son, if it's just some young man he got, because at one point Aquaman went to even hit Sardine, and he said, wait, he's too young. I can't even hit him. So I don't know what these two were doing hanging around, but I'm glad that Sardine got the wisdom enough to punch Human Flying Fish and be done with him. But for me, I say both. I say Sardine, that horrible name, just kind of give up being in like comics or get a new name.
That name stinks.
Get out of the it's not as good as actually eating sardines, which I'll probably do after this show.
You know what? That's probably against the law in all 50 states if you're eating sardine.
No, sardines.
Okay.
Bada bing.
Bada bing.
But yeah, so Sardine, somehow they brought back Sardine, would have to be retconned, have to do something completely different and say, oh yeah, one day I did this. Human Flying Fish always stays on the F list to me.
So does Sardine.
So there you go. Sardine. Mike, what
They're
about
exiled to Sardinia.
To the list.
Who said, yeah, names could have been Suckerfish and Kid Pufferfish.
Oh, there you go. Kid Puffer.
And Chris is, he's no sardine since he was a guppy. But everyone, so the Human Flying Fish and his former sidekick Sardine join the F list.
Make him go. Make him go away.
There they are.
Yeah.
Womp, womp, womp. They join.
You have the graphic that puts them in there?
No, we did not have the graphic today. I'm going to have to get on to sale and see what's going on. But, but it was different because we did have 2 characters today.
That's true.
So that's my excuse for sale. And now, everyone, it's time for our review. And this story is a crossover. 2 characters that are not F-listers. Well, even more characters because there's Joker in there and everything.
Joker.
The Batman versus the Incredible Hulk. Let me start us off with some of the credits. Reading from the comic book itself. How it says, a supersized, spectacular, breathtakingly brought to you by Len Wein, writer, and Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, illustrator. Vic Giordano is the embellisher, editor. John Costanza is letterer, and Glynis Wein is the colorist. It says Alan Milgram and Jim Shooter, consulting editors, with thanks to Marv Wolfman and Mike DiCarlo for their help. And like I said earlier, I had thought that this was the first appearance of the Shaper of Worlds, but our good old people in the chat let us know that was actually Hulk 155. So this doesn't appear to be a first appearance, but this is the crossover between the two, Batman and the Hulk.
And this is actually the first time this was printed. This was like 81 or something. So an interesting note, this is DC Special Series number 27. This is the last issue of DC Special Series. DC Special Series, for you people that like to collect your books together, is the nightmare of all nightmares. It's 27 issues long. 20 issues are just regular comics. The regular comic size, they're like dollar comics, so they're little. There's more content. They're thicker, but they're this size as far as the dimensions. 20 of them are like that. 3 of them are treasuries, and 4 of them are little digests. So, what box do you store those in? What's your comic box? Sal, who's a freak about storing everything of a series together, how you storing 20 regular comics, 4 digests, and 3 treasuries? So,
Partridge in a pear tree.
Nuts. And the final issue of all things is a DC Marvel crossover. Just completely freaking nuts.
Pretty nuts. And that's kind of what happens with this story with the Shaper of Worlds, how he takes your dreams and can make them reality, which is why in the story the Joker's after it. So, but then he gets the gamma ray, but Bruce Banner was going to use that gamma ray to try to help him, obviously with the Hulk stuff. And then what does it turn into? It turns into Batman fighting the Hulk. And then I thought one thing that was interesting later on, when the Joker realizes that the Shaper of Worlds needs the Hulk to help him so that he can give the Joker that power, that Batman and Joker have to team up. And they have to get the Hulk, and then obviously Joker, later on Batman realizes, wait a minute, Joker, you tricked me, and then Joker has that power. And then you could see Batman and Hulk have to team up to take out the Joker, who has this power of making the world his dreams, which are, no surprise, they're pretty crazy. Guys, I'll go to real quick. Chris says, Garcia Lopez was quite the unsung artist. Yeah, I did really like the artwork in this story. I actually like the artwork better than the actual story itself.
Yeah.
Same here.
Same here.
Yeah. What about you guys? Anybody want to take a stab at it first?
I mean, I go along with you. The story does not hold up very well. The artwork is fantastic. Much in the Joker's shoot. Who's the artist, Gary?
Oh, the Joker's done like a Aparo would do him with
Yeah.
the long lean face.
Jim Aparo with the long face,
But
the
like
madness.
And you got the head on,
Yeah.
There's certain parts I like, Joker's classic Joker, and he's kicking the guy off. Yeah, Kenny, he kicks him into the water, but certain parts I thought the Hulk seemed a bit too weak for me. I felt like Batman kind of getting the better of the Hulk every punch, and that even though he uses the gas and then kicks his stomach and Hulk is out kind of that fast, and then there's the creature, the gooey one Hulk gets stuck in. And then, as much as I love Batman, I felt Batman almost seemed like invincible Batman. Every punch he'd get hit, he'd kick off the wall at the car's thrown. He'd just jump right through it. Even when Hulk brings the whole building down, Hulk just gets through it, right? He could take it. And Joker is helping Batman, and Batman says, "Oh, don't worry, I jumped in between beams, like nothing." Like to me, it seemed like I was being invincible Batman, and then Hulk's kind of he wins. He's just kind of strong, but he loses, and he's not that tough. And then, so from a big story, with these some of my favorite characters in comic books, some of the best characters in comics. I guess I thought a bit more. I thought it would be a bigger story, a bit more, and I guess the other crossovers I had read, like like when we went over Teen Titans and X-Men, like I really loved that one. Even early in the year, me and Sal reviewed Superman and Spider-Man. So I guess I had more. I was expecting a bit more out of this. So I was expecting more. Like pretty cool, right? To say there's Batman and Hulk, but I think what ended up being my favorite part was probably seeing Batman and the Joker team up for a little bit.
This was the last one of those team ups between Marvel and DC for a while, so there's a reason.
Oh, so there you go. Yeah, Uncle Gary, what about you? What do you think of the story?
The story was, I like Len Wein a lot. The story was bad. It just wasn't good. It doesn't hold up well. I think the Joker was kind of lame. I got a lot of vibe of the Batman TV show Joker, in there, some dumb jokes, and not as evil and maybe he's still manipulative, but just kind of goofy Joker, which I didn't like. And I think one of the real big problems with this is the Shaper of Worlds is just a stupid villain.
That's why I assumed this was his one and only appearance. And
he
just came in and said he had been around a little bit.
I knew he had been around a little bit, but I haven't seen him much since. I think he's just a lame-o villain, and it was just kind of dumb, and the motivation with what he wanted, and it was just Len Wein phoned it in on this one, and I'm a big fan of his. Yeah. So I think he phoned it in. The art was good. The art was good, but they phoned it in. It was kind of interesting where they have them. They don't even cross over to another's Earth. They're just kind of living in a world where they know one another.
Yeah. In fact, the X-Men Teen Titans one was like that too.
Yeah. So they're in a world where they know each other, and they know the Hulk, and they know of Batman and all that. So, so for me, the story was it was pretty lame, and I didn't dig it. I imagine as a kid, in 81, well, shit, God, in 81, I was still a teenager in 81. It was, I guess I was like 17 when it came out. So it was, I'm sure I enjoyed it to see the companies crossover. The other thing that was kind of lame was you saw the Rhino, you saw the Leader, you saw Two-Face and
Scarecrow. Abomination, and then what was his name? Killer Moth. And you saw versions of them, not the real ones, and that was kind of lame how they threw those other villains in there just to say you had them in the book together. Yeah. And that was pretty lame too. So I thought it was a pretty feeble book. I didn't enjoy it very much. Let's go with some of the comments. First, Mr. Keith said, he said, because his main power is strength, he's got different personalities. The Hulk does really well getting paired in team-ups. And then Chris said, the Batman punching the Hulk. Because that's one of the things I mentioned. Like, I mean, I could understand like if he's wearing stuff, but I was like, each punch was like the Hulk almost seemed as affected by Batman's punches almost as much as Batman affected by Hulk's.
Well, that was the problem with the Hulk for a number of years, is he got beat by everybody.
Well, and he was so stupid, and this is stupid Hulk.
Yeah.
And then Boo says, seems crossover stories are usually pretty unimpressive. This is more like the fun thing about it is that it's Batman and Hulk. Or if it was regular characters, I think the grades would be a lot lower. If these like, who's this and that character? So for me, overall, like we were saying, the story is not impressive. It's just more of a cool crossover, like to see Batman and Hulk. And like I said, my favorite part, I did have parts that I did enjoy. My favorite part being the Batman and Joker teaming up. If anything, that got me most excited. Like, I wonder what would happen if they did more comic books like that. If somehow they had to be. It more just gets some legacy points because, like I said, because I like the crossover and I do like the artwork. So overall, I'm gonna say I give the Batman Hulk crossover a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll go 6 out of 10.
Okay, Gary, how about you?
All right, I'm gonna say the art. I'm gonna say the art's a 7.5. And I'm going to say that the story is a 4. So we'll meet somewhere. I don't know. It's the whole thing a 5.8.
5.8. All right, so there we go.
There you go.
So-
A 5.8 out of 10.
5.8 out of 10.
Art, yeah. Art very much stellar to the story. And I hate saying it because Len Wein is a fine, just, really good writer. And it was just a couple years after this, they were supposed to do the JLA Avengers in '83, and they canceled that thing because Shooter killed it. Jerry Conway wrote it, and George Perez had started doing the art on it. And Shooter did not like it, and he canceled it. And he broke everybody's heart, broke my heart for years. The JLA Avengers, that, those are my two favorite teams. And I wanted to see that so badly. And it took over 20 years for it to happen. And when it finally happened, Kurt Busiek and George Perez finally got to do it. I will say this: if Shooter killing it made that happen and gave us, because of that, we got the beautiful volumes that we got, that 4-issue series, then it was worth the wait.
Yep.
It was that good. It was worth the wait. It was that good. So
Sometimes things do work out in the end.
Yep.
But for this one, well, let's see. Chris says, I give it a 5 even. So there you go. Not too popular. I was being a bit positive about it and gave the Hulk Batman crossover a 7 out of 10. Mikey gave it a 6 out of 10.
the cover might be the best thing about it.
Yeah.
It is more. I think if you just look at it and kind of, I think it's more cool to just look at.
Yeah.
That's when you'll have the most fun. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And Uncle Gary went with the 5.8 out of 10.
5.8 out of 10. Yep.
Well, everyone, thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure hosting the Codex podcast for you all. Before we go, there's some things, get the business out of the way. Uncle Gary, what do we want to give everybody? What do we have that we want to give everybody?
Oh man, listen. Look at Sonny. Look at me. We are so infected. We're positively dripping with the socials. And we would like nothing better than to give them to you, baby. Hit that button.
That's right, at the Codex station. And then don't forget, you can get some merch, meet the team, and so much more at www.thecodexstation.com. You can get a hoodie. You can see all articles about us. You can get yourself a sticker.
Get a pen?
Where?
Where?
Where do I sticker?
Man, that's after. We'll end the show soon. And then for now, Boosh did say, now Avengers JLA, that was a good crossover.
Oh, Boosh, I think that was a great. That is my favorite comic with superheroes in it. Is the 4-part Avengers JLA. My famous.
It was worth the wait.
My favorite comic without heroes is Preacher, but my favorite with heroes is JLA Avengers. That hit all the fanboy notes for me, and it was perfection.
The greatest art of all time in that book.
Oh, yes, it was.
Mr. Keith says, great show.
Thank you, Mr. Keith. Thanks for hanging with us.
And Boo says, Sonny wants to give you syphilis. I mean, socials. No, thank you.
That's Sophilus.
Chris says, Mike has the socials?
I do. I'm
See,
excited.
Chris, I told you not to get too close to him on Sunday, but you did anyway. So whatever you have now, it's your fault. I warned you.
Yep.
But everyone, like we did say, thank you. Check us out. And one more thing I should tell you is that, remember, we are nominated for 5 awards. www.cbcawards.org. And that is right. We are up for Best Live Stream for Comics Unleashed, the Codex podcast. Comics Unleashed from the Codex Station. Also, Best Informative Content, the Codex Station. Best Live Stream, Comics Unleashed, the Codex Station. And, of course, Best Entertaining Content, the Codex Station. And then this from the Celebratorium himself, Sale the Slab Guy from the Codex Station is nominated for Most Engaging Host. And then, Boosh, thank you for saying hell of a show. We always have a good show. Chris says, fantastic show.
Thank you for being here,
We love
Boosh.
putting on a show for everybody. We love having a good old time. And then tomorrow, Uncle Gary, who was the comic character of the week?
Oh, character of the day. I got to pick this one. It's the Sandman. And no, we're not talking Neil Gaiman. We are talking Wesley Dodds, the Sandman, founding member of the Justice Society of America. he will be our comic character of the week.
I'm excited for them because I'm really excited to read more about the Sandman, Wesley Dodds, and well, you want a show that's gonna be. One may say it's a good influence on me. One may say it's bad because it does get me to want to buy many comic books, and that is Comic Character of the Week. So check it out tomorrow. And Chris, to say about you, Uncle Gary, I thought your favorite non-superhero comic was Veggie Lovers.
That would be Mr. Sonny. When he saw the Veggie Lover book, he had to have it, and he has it right. He sleeps with it right by his bed every
It's
night.
not by my bed. It's right next to me, right here, somewhere there. If I just reach.
Oh, that's
Pull
right.
it out.
You're gonna reach and pull it out. Okay, that's part of the problem. That's why Maria does not allow it near the bed after you got married, because you reach over and pull it out.
Well, great show, everybody. Take care. I shall see you all next week. I hope you have a day, a week, a month that is a 10 out of 10.